So I noticed you're wearing the new Big Wangers t-shirt today.
Yes, because I am a businessman who owns a business called Big Wangers Incorporated. Hi, Dad. Love you. He's so proud of me. He's so annoyed that I own a business called Big Wangers.
Does he watch the video?
He does sometimes. His co-workers do. And I always ask him, Stu, ask your son about this. And he goes, no. I'm not asking him that. I can't be asked.
That's funny.
In the world of professional figure skating, there are a handful of moves that are categorically banned from ever being performed at the highest levels of competition, for reasons. As you might imagine, performing one of these forbidden moves in competition will see you being heavily penalised, which didn't stop a figure skater called Surya Bonaly from doing exactly that anyway, just to style on her opponents in 1998.
So there's a handful of specific moves that figure skaters can't do in competitions.
Yes, and the one that we're talking about today is the backflip. And the first thing we should probably discuss is why the backflip is banned, which is what I'd like to say, but we don't actually know why the backflip is banned, and there are a couple of conflicting reports. And the one that's seems most obvious is that it's dangerous.
Oh yeah, because you're
upside down
blades on your feet.
With knives on your feet. But there's equally as official sounding sources that have said, well, actually no, the reason it's banned is because officials back in the 60s and 70s thought that the move was too, and I quote, showbiz.
So apparently it was too showbiz.
Yes, for figure skaters, the people who do flips and twirls on the ice wearing the most flamboyant, garish uniforms of any Olympians.
Yeah, they wear these outfits that are so sparkly and also skin coloured, so they always look half naked.
Some of them used to perform in tuxedos. There were pictures from back in the day when the backflip was banned. There were people who performed in suits and dresses and stuff like that. And what screams showbiz more than a fucking suit? It's think about that. Oh, it's too showbiz to do a backflip. Now you go out there in a sparkly pink dress and dance to fucking classical music.
You can't get much more showbiz than that, really.
It's ridiculous, but that's one of the rumoured reasons why it was banned, but we don't actually know. But that one's the funniest to me, because even if you don't know anything about figure skating, you know that they go onto the ice just dressed to the nines, like they're on the red carpet, and do crazy, routines, inspired by sometimes pop culture and things from show business. But whatever, I digress and we'll move on. The only thing people watching this video really need to know, though, is that the move was banned from figure skating competitions in 1976.
So you said it was banned in 1976?
Yes, from competitive, figure skating.
So where did Surya Bonaly enter?
Well, she enters the scene in around the late 80s to the mid-90s, because that's roughly when her competitive peak was, and she competed at 3 subsequent Olympic Games, as well as, figure skating competitions all over the world. And in specific regards to the Olympics, while she never placed, she was always seen as one of, the contenders, because of just, her sheer physicality and the fact that she was so gifted on the ice. And in specific regards to the backflip, she's noted as being one of the few people on the ice in the era that she competed who could do it consistently, which is a bit annoying because you weren't allowed to do it in competition.
So I can see doing a backflip is quite an impressive move to pull off.
Yes.
But how can it intimidate other athletes on the ice?
Yeah, especially at the Olympic level. Well, let's set the scene and go back to 1992. And during the practice sessions for the Winter Olympics that year, Surya Bonaly just started doing backflips. Just because she could, as part of her training routine. Because you can't do it on the ice during competition, but there's nothing stopping her from doing it during practice. And it's noted that almost as soon as she started backflipping on the ice, an Olympic official came over and said, "You've got to stop that right now. Stop doing that." And ostensibly they told her to stop doing it because it's it's an illegal move in competition, but remember, this is practice. And it later turned out that the reason they did it is because other people on the ice, and specifically their trainers, were complaining because she kept doing the backflip next to other competitors, which they saw as intimidation. Because she was backflipping and then landing right next to other competitors and then just skating away on one foot backwards. And trainers were complaining to Olympic officials, just saying, "Yeah, my guy does not want to go on the ice when she's out there," because she's just showing everybody up. Because they're going out there and just doing a sow cow or something. She's going, boom, perfect backflip.
It's pretty impressive.
It is, and Surya Bonaly, for the record, was not doing it to intimidate other people. She did it as part of her practice and warm up, but Like, it didn't stop people from seeing it that way.
Yeah.
And the thing that cracks me up about this is I fully believe that if Olympic officials had not stopped doing this, she'd have just done a spirit bomb. Like, doing a training routine. So it just, like, looked like, where is Surya? Oh, she's just up there charging a spirit bomb. Just above the ice like this. It's like, oh, man, that is pretty intimidating. Just think about that for a moment. It's like, all right, train for the Olympics. You go out there and you do your routine, and you just look across and you just see this woman just doing like 10 perfect backflips in a row with knives on the foot. It would like demoralise you, wouldn't it?
You're trying to practice your own routine, and then suddenly this blade is like a few inches from your face.
Like
and
someone
black backflipping.
She's just doing like the Iron Lotus from Blade to Glory, and understandably, other skaters and their trainer didn't like her doing this, so officials kept telling her to stop. To which, like, she would say, well, is it against the rules?
Yeah.
They're like, well, no, but it is, like, a bit dangerous.
So she did a lot of backflips during her training routine.
Yes, not specifically to intimidate other skaters, but she couldn't help it if that's the effect the backflips had.
Did she actually do a flip on the ice during a competition?
She did. Once, because she knew she was going to lose. We're going to set the scene now. It's 1998, it's the Winter Olympics once again, and Bonaly is competing, and she's very unfortunately suffered an injury to her Achilles tendon. So basically the ankle, the place where you put all your weight during figure skating. And she is in 6th place with one more, chance to go out on the ice to impress the judges. She knows that she's lost. Like, there is no performance she can do good enough to help her place. And she's already pissed off because at the previous Winter Olympics, she got 2nd. And I think she took a silver medal off or got really angry about it because she thought she'd won. Because she thought she was better than the person who did win. And as you're about to find out, she might very well have been. Because what she did is she went onto the ice, remember, with an injured ankle, did her routine. And then instead of I think the final thing she was going to do, which I think was a triple sow cow or something like that, did a perfect backwards backflip and landed on one foot.
Ooh.
On one, because obviously she couldn't land on her other foot because that's the injured one. So she went onto the ice and did a one-footed backflip perfectly and then landed it and then skated backwards.
I'm assuming because the move was illegal.
Yes.
She was penalised for it.
Yes, very heavily, and she didn't place, but she wasn't going to place anyway, so she didn't really care. But just for a moment, think about this, because a single-footed backflip onto one leg has never been performed in an Olympic event since or prior, meaning she's the only person in the history of the sport to have performed that move in competition. And just think for a moment that she performed a move that has never been equalled, never been topped, never been attempted, and she lost. And that's what she wanted to do. She thought, well, fuck it, I'm retiring after this anyway. I'm going to go out with a bang. So she went out and did the most difficult move in her entire repertoire, a move she knew nobody else in that competition would dare attempt, could let alone pull off. And while the judges penalised her for it, what the crowd saw was the most spectacular display of athleticism ever seen in a figure skating competition. And we should probably address at this point that there's a bit of misinformation about this story. And one version of it says that Bonaly was banned from doing a backflip or told not to do one because she was the only person in the world who could do it and it was embarrassing other figure skaters. And that's obviously not the case. The backflip was banned for everybody and it had been since 1976. But there is some truth to that story, specifically the part that says it was embarrassing other figure skaters because it made everyone else look bad when Bonaly was out there during practice doing backflips. And officials and trainers complained about it. And it made everyone else look bad when she went out, did a perfect backflip onto one leg, and then got 6th place.
It seems unfair, but at least she's now known, she's remembered as a legend.
On one hand, she didn't win that Olympic medal, but on the other, she's now remembered as the only person in the history of figure skating who's ever performed that move. And I know which one I'd rather have, because I know which one people are going to talk about on the fucking internet. So today's video has been about a forbidden move in figure skating. So let's carry on in that vein and talk about secret or forbidden moves that aren't allowed to be performed from sports movies. And Nisha, you're not really the biggest fan of sports movies, is that right?
Yeah, I know nothing about sports. I don't watch sports.
Okay, so let's bring in Adam then, who does do that.
Hello.
So Adam, would you like to kick us off with a secret move from a sports movie?
I think it just has to be in the Mighty Ducks, the flying V.
Oh, the flying fucking V. The dumbest move ever, where they just travel as a triangle. It's so stupid, isn't
I know,
it?
just have the guy with the puck at the back and everyone in front of him and just protect him.
That's got to be illegal, hasn't it? That's so stupid.
I've never seen it performed in real NHL. I've never seen a team get together and go, right, it is flying V
It's time for the flying V. But it's shown as being like, oh, it's this completely unbeatable tactic that no one can stop.
Yeah.
When all you've got to do is just take out one of the kids.
Yeah.
It's like, just rub one of them kids out. That kid with puck is yours. He's just there for the taking.
I can just imagine it being like a domino effect. You take the guy at the front who falls back, and eventually the guy with the puck will get knocked over.
Oh man, it's so stupid. But I'm going to throw out. I'm going to go for the movie Shaolin Soccer, which contains so many hidden moves. My favourite being Iron Stomach Man, who gets the ball stuck in his stomach and then runs into back of net. Who can stop that tactic?
Because there's that one as well where he does like the header. Where he like just flips into the air, just power jams
100 foot into the air. Or then you've got like the goalkeeper, who looked exactly like Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And fun fact, his entire career has been playing Bruce Lee in TV shows and documentaries and stuff. Who just like does all like the dragon catching on stuff like that. And then you have the one right at the end, don't you, where the guy kicks the ball and it just sets on fire and the dragon comes behind it.
Yeah, the dragon kick.
So how do you stop that shit? There's no stopping all this good stuff.
Imagine just being the goalkeeper watching this barrage of shit come towards you.
Oh, man. Well, we can move away from the fantastical and into the more realistic, but something that I think would hurt just as much. And that is the woman from Dodgeball.
Oh, God,
who, like, the Globo Gym Mega Cobras get in. So, she's the deadliest woman with a dodgeball ever. And she's just got a regular throw. And just, boom, just fucking knocks that guy out. With a tray of drinks.
That's when he's next to the jukebox and he just slides down the jukebox.
Oh, it's so good. But there's loads in that, isn't there? There's like the one where it's like the peekaboo. When you do that and the guy jumps over the top. It's Ben Stiller jumps over the top and goes straight for the ball to the face.
Because there's that one bit as well when it's Vince Vaughn goes down, and then you've got Michelle, who is that big fucker, just like running in slow motion with the ball, like he's actually going to murder him.
Yeah,
and then the girl just dives in and takes the hit.
Just Homer Simpson's in the way of it. No. The thing I love about Shaolin Soccer though is that every person on the pitch has their own secret move.
Yeah,
and I think the part that always just gets me that a little bit hype is when the trainer goes, "We're getting our ass kicked. I thought you said these guys were good." He goes, "Oh, they just need to find their chi or their center or something."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, it's happened," and it shows you him. And they go around, they're all just like in meditation stance. And there's that one guy in the net who's held up by the net with his hand. And they all play with their eyes shut, don't they?
Yeah, because they're just perfectly in tune.
Oh, he just does like that monk front flip thing on the head to get the... It's like, oh, this is so fucking cool.
It's not a film, but there were a TV show with Harry Hill.
Okay.
Or Harry Enfield. Harry Enfield.
Okay, yeah.
So Harry Enfield had this TV show where they like replicated an old FA Cup final from like 1940s. And one of the players literally just wiped his shoe with glue, stuck the ball on it, and then just ran with the ball. They were just jumping over everyone and ran into the net.
We're going to talk about Father Ted, right? It's the all priests over 75, five-a-side, something or other, and they get Father Jack in a wheelchair and just put the ball on his lap and just drive him into back of net. It's like, that is so good. So how do you stop that kind of shit, man?
You can't stop a guy in a wheelchair.
Just with it on his lap, just drives into back at net. And then I think they actually just started doing like 360s in the thing.
Yeah.
Just styling on him.
If we go back to films, it's probably just Space Jam, where Michael Jordan has the extendable arm.
The extendo dunk. Oh, so
just
good.
dunks it.
Well, the one that's the most cheating is when they pull a gun on that guy. They're like the Pulp Fiction one where they just shoot a guy in the face.
Is that Daffy Duck?
No, I think it's Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, it is.
Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd just pull out guns and shoot somebody. The ultimate secret move, just shoot someone in the mouth.
Murder someone.
Oh man, there's so many good like sports movies where they just do that shit.
What would your special move be?
I don't know, I'd probably get drunk. It's what people are going to say in it, but I still look like, oh, he knows the secret techniques. Why don't you just do that from the start?
Yeah.
Like,
I always wondered that.
Like the flying V, if it's really that good, only do that.
Yeah. Just every time, just keep doing it.
Just only ever do the flying V's. People get so pissed off, they just stop playing. Because that's how that series should end. We're like, no, fuck you, you've got the best team.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's going to end though. I think it's on Air Bud. I don't know which one it is, but it's the one where they play soccer.
I've not seen that one.
Well, they have a bit where like Air Bud's coming onto the pitch.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, the other team goes, "This is fucking bullshit. You can't have a dog play. How do we slide tackle a dog?" And their team, and it's acting like they're the villains because they don't want to play against this super good like football playing dog. And a girl on the team just picks up the ball and kicks it from the halfway point into the net, as if that proves anything of kicking a ball into a completely open goal. And they go, yeah, we win, and walk up. It's like, what? That doesn't prove anything. Oh yeah, from the halfway line, from your hands, you kick it into the back of the net, and you think that proves you can win. When it's just the other team's like, we don't want to be the team that double-footed slide tackles a dog with studs.
Yeah.
Because that's going to end really poorly for us.
I just thought of another film as well,
Okay, what
which
is
is
it?
The Benchwarmers.
I've not seen that one.
So it's about American baseball. You've got three guys, and like John Head is one of them.
All right.
Three guys who enter a child's like minor baseball league.
I think I have seen this.
And then there's this one bit when like they keep winning as the storyline goes. Oh, they're going to win. They're going to win. And then this one team just like hires this ex-professional like baseball player, and they say he's 11 years old. He's there with like a beard and everything. And then the referee's looking at him. He's like, he's not 11 years old. And then he just opens this bit of paper that says, I am 11 with a $5 bill. Just hands it him and he's like, okay, he's 11. He's good.
Oh man, that reminds me of, if we're going to talk about like dumb sports movie, it has to be Dodgeball.
Yeah.
Where they figure out that one of the guys on their team, like, the downtrodden guy with like, the tiger mom, Asian wife, where he just gets really pissed off and gets so angry that no one can stop him.
You gotta get angry. You gotta get mean.
But I can't be angry. He just looks over and sees his wife flirting with another man. And he's like, no!
And he pulls the goggles down.
Just gets angry and just like, duh, boom! How do you stop this man? How do you stop the power of cuckoldery, man? It can't be stopped. He's so angry because his wife's going to bang another dude.